The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I just want to welcome you to the webinar today, and we are going to walk through how to edit your website. Just a few housekeeping things as we begin the webinar. This is being recorded, and it will be posted on our YouTube channel as well as our Facebook channel at the end of the webinar. It takes a few minutes to render afterwards, but by the end of the business day today, it will be posted. So let's go ahead and get started. So to begin your login, you're going to go to your website, which is likely something like www.youriqusername.yourcompanywebsite.com. I do want to show you an example of one of those domains just so that you can see what it looks like. So I can actually go to kelsey.cbidaho.com and I can actually then see the website. So it's my username, my company website.com. I'm going to use a demo account for today so that you can have a good idea of what it looks like and what your options are. Once you're on your website, you're going to scroll down to the very, very bottom of the page, and you're going to see two web login options. One is for the IQ Office, and this is going to open up and take you to your myiqoffice.com, your back office, and your IQ web login. And I like to explain this somewhat similar to a restaurant or grocery store. At a restaurant, there is what is called the front of the house. It's the place where you sit down and you have a meal and you order your food and your waitress is super cheerful and pleasant and you have a great time. And that's like your website. That's where your consumers go to shop. That's where they go to see your product and to ask for more information and to see more. And then your IQ office is your back office or the back of the house. And that's like in a restaurant where the people are cooking and cursing and dishes are getting thrown and they're working really hard to make everything perfect. And so that your IQ office is really where you put in the work so that when your customers come to shop, everything looks really great. And it's where you manage your customers and manage things and make sure they go out on time and make sure everything's right. So that's really the difference between your web login and your IQ office login. So we're going to go ahead and log into our website because we're going to edit the website. So I'm going to go ahead and log in, and you're going to see when you log in a grayish black bar across the top of the screen. So you see this bar across the top of the screen, and that is what lets you know that you are in edit mode. And so once you're in edit mode, you can actually go ahead and start the edit process. And the first thing that you're going to want to do if you've never logged in before is go to this design button. And from this design button, you're going to be able to scroll through all the different designs and layouts that are available. All layouts are also available as mobile, so they automatically shift to a mobile-sized screen, so you don't need to worry about that part. And to preview a screen, you can just click on the design, and it will tell you in a bullet list what features are here, but you can also see a preview. If you don't like the photos that are in the preview, do not fret. Those are things that are something you can edit. So you can actually go ahead and you can go through and you can say, okay, I like this one or I like this one. I like design 24 or design 23. And then go ahead and choose your color scheme. So I can say, hey, I want actually a blue color scheme, or I want a pink color scheme, or I want a red color scheme, or I want a green color scheme. You choose this color scheme. And then you're going to click the green button that says update this design. And the website is automatically going to process and update the look of the page. So I can now see that this is updated. I also can now see that I'm still in edit mode because the black bar is at the top and that I have got this edit page button in the upper right hand corner. When I click that edit page button, I'm going to see pencils that actually show me the sections that are available for me to edit. So anything that is shown as an edit button, you can go ahead and change. I also want to just show you that there are sections that are hidden. So you can actually say, I want to show all these features. And one thing I also want to point out as I do that is that anytime this green save button shows in the upper right hand corner, you do want to click that green save button. As you go through, all of these tiles are customizable. You can customize these different tiles here, and you can edit all the photos on the top. So let's just start by walking through how you would edit the top banner. You decide if you want to display caption, yes or no, and what that caption will be. It can be something like, search for your new home. And then you can also choose where that link goes to. If you don't want this to go to listings, you can actually choose where that link goes to simply by choosing from IQ pages. You can choose from lead sources, you can choose from custom pages that you've built, you can choose certain listings, and you can choose from property management options. To change that photo, you're going to go ahead and click the blue change button in the right-hand corner, and you can either choose from your images or you can choose from realistic stock images that are available to you. So you can actually go in and I can say, hey, I want to do some lifestyle photos and I really like this photo of the winter sledding, and I can say change. To edit the other panels on your screen, you simply just click on the other slides. The template I chose also has an option to show a video instead of the sliding panels. And if you'd like to show a video, you just click on the video button. And then you can go ahead and change that video as well. And there's some stock videos in here for you to use. So you can say, hey, I really like this photo of this couple wandering through a house. And then you can also choose the brightness. You can say, hey, I want this to be really bright, or I just really want it to be a shadow of what's going on. And then you choose what options are in your search form. Once you've changed all your options here, you click OK, and it automatically updates it. So now I can see what that video looks like. Again, anytime that green save button shows, you want to make sure you click the save button. As I scroll down, I have the option to also change things like these tiles. These tiles work very similarly to the header. You choose each individual tile to see where it goes. The other thing you want to do is make sure that you know where the links go. If I'm an agent, there's no reason that I would want a link that goes through to our realtors. And it's really easy to change something like this. You could change this to say something like, learn more about me. And then the description can be something like, I am here to help you through the home sale process. And the text can be learn more. And then you select the link. You would go to IQ pages. You would choose the page that said, there is a page that says about me. Maybe it's not in that one. It is underneath IQ pages. It's just not in the demo page because this is a company page. So there's going to be something underneath other that says about me. And you're going to choose that and then you're going to click OK. And panel 3 says it goes to offices. So maybe you want this to be, want to know, is your home worth? Find out now. And then you'd select the IQ link, you'd go through, and then you'd select the home, what's my home worth link. But you do want to go through and make sure that you are checking those links if you're an agent so that you know where they go. And again, I can see now selling, learn more about me, what's my home worth, and I can click save. I also can go in and change the number of panels that are displayed. So I can choose to only have this be 1 panel or 2 or 3 or 4 or 6. It does have to be an even number. That's how this layout works. And then I can click OK. I also can change the photo the same way. So I can just click change. I can upload my own image, or I can go to realistic images and I can choose images from the stock images available here. And anytime that green button is saved, I'm going to click save. The next thing I want to show you is how to hide sections. So if you don't want to show this banner, you can actually just click this hide button on the right-hand side, click OK, and it will hide that section. And that is a little bit about how to edit your home page. The next thing that I want to show you is how to create your own custom pages. So to do that, from your main login screen and your edit screen, you're going to go to the Pages button at the top of the screen. And from here, you're going to click New Page. This gives you the option to choose either a template, which is a static page. A static page means you put the information in and it remains the same until you go in and manually update it. Or at the bottom, you can choose a dynamic page. And dynamic pages mean that once you put the information in, it's automatically pulling from another source that automatically updates. We're going to do a dynamic page because I think that those are very valuable for you to use and can be used as landing pages or registration pages as well. We're going to choose this Areas template 2 and then click Next. What this is going to do is it's going to ask you to name the page first. And we're going to do a page that is based on different areas. So we're going to say learn about the region. And then we're going to title the page. And we're going to just call it regional information. What you're going to want to put in the description text is a description of your page so that when Google, Bing, and other search engines are searching for your page, you can actually have some descriptive text that tells the internet search engine what your page is about. So I'm going to say something like, learn more about what is for sale, what homes are for sale in our region, and what it is like to live here. And then you're going to say, is this required for registration? Yes or no. If you want people to have to register before they see your page, the answer to this question is yes. And you're going to choose if you want it to be a nag, an offer, or a force. You can also choose to have it only be a registration page if it is a pay-per-click option. So you can choose to nag only with pay-per-click on the first visit and the lead source to be a website contact form. Underneath this, you have the options to add meta tags. And a meta tag is a way that the internet describes and categorizes your page without searching all the content on your page. So I like to compare this to the library. A library has different sections. You have a nonfiction section, you have a fiction section, you have a children's section, you have a research section, you have the newspaper section, and a meta tag is kind of like finding that section and subsections so that the internet knows how to categorize your information. So an example of a meta tag, if I were in a library, would be the nonfiction section, and then there'd be a meta tag that said the biography section, and then there'd be a meta tag that said the historical biography section. So if you're adding meta tags, it should be very specific to what content is on the page. This only helps with your search engine optimization, and there's a lot of research out there on how to do meta tags well. That's a whole other class that we're going to go down at a different time. So if I were adding meta tags here, I would be adding something like homes for sale, or homes for sale in our area, or regional information about XYZ County, or moving to XYZ County, and I'd add those all as individual counties and individual meta tags. You also can choose not to add them at this time. You can always go back and add them at a different time. So I'm going to go ahead and say I don't want to add meta tags at this time, and right now I don't want it to attach to menu. I just want to show you how to build the page, and I'm going to click OK. And once I click OK, I'm going to see my page. Now, I want to just scroll down and show you the preview of the page before there's any information in it. And I want you to notice that everything is written in Latin. And the reason for that is if it wasn't written in Latin and there was some nice text in here, you would never edit it to be customized. So we're going to go through and we're going to build the whole page. So I can see at the top of my screen that I've got that learn about the region title, I've got the regional information, and I'm going to click edit page. So from here, I can go in and I can add a photo. So I can use a stock photo again or upload my own photo. I can go ahead and choose an area, and let's say I'm in Dallas. I can say I want to choose this photo, and that green save button shows, so I click save. And then I can edit this text and I can put some nice text in here. Or if I don't want any text on this page, I just want it to be listings, I can just delete that text and have no text there. And then I can say, hey, I want to actually edit these listings. So I can say, hey, I want to add 3 areas. I want to add Elko. I want to add the area of Elko Golf Course. I want to add the area of, let's see what else is in here, of Jigs the City. And I want to add the area of the city of Battle Mountain. Do I want to show company listings first? Yes or no? Do I want to set price mins or new days or virtual tours? If they have an open house, if they're waterfront, all of these are things that I can choose. And once I've chosen all of them, I just click OK. And it's going to actually go out and it's going to find the listings that match that criteria. I also can say, hey, I don't want it to show low to high. So that was an option up here, list price by high to low or low to high. So you can say I want high to low. You choose what that looks like. And then you click save. And there's multiple pages of information. I then can go in and edit this text at the bottom if I want to have text at the bottom that says, hey, if you're thinking about moving here, here's some things you need to think about. If you're moving to North Idaho, for example, some things you need to think about is who is your cell phone carrier and what speed of internet do you require at your house? Because there's areas up here that you don't get high-speed internet and you don't get cell service from AT&T or some of the smaller providers. You also can add an optional menu. So if you want to add a menu that is down here to select and have listed at the bottom, you can do that. But this acts as a really good way to go out and promote yourself as a listing page. So it's really as easy as going in, editing the criteria, and creating the page. You can always go in and go to menus and reattach that page. So you can create a new menu, or I can go in and say, hey, I want to add this to the site menu, and I want to add it to our available communities. So I'm going to say, hey, I want to edit this. I want to add a custom page. So I'm going to go custom pages. I'm going to say learn about the region, our available communities. I'm going to say more info about our area. And I'm going to say add to our available communities. If I want it to be one of these main gray headers, I just have to go in and I can say, hey, I want to add it to the menu instead of add to our available communities. Does that make sense? Assuming because there's no questions that makes sense, so we're going to keep on keeping on. And then I click save, and then I can see here that there's a drop down that says more information about our communities. I also can go in and remember how I said you can edit and add meta tags at a different time if you would like. You can actually go into your page details and click on the page details, and this is how you can go in and add those meta tags or change your registration options if you would like. So that's how you access that. The next thing I just want to quickly go through is how to do a static page. So you can actually go in and you can click new page and you can click a template at the top, and you could actually create something like My Sold Homes. I think that the template number, where is it? Template number 16 works really well for that. Template number 11 works really well for that. So there's a couple options. Nikki, a meta tag is how the internet categorizes your page. So it's like a tag that you're putting on the back side of your page so that search engines know what your page is about without having to read your whole page. Does that make sense? Perfect. Yeah, no problem. I'm open to all questions, so ask away. So we're going to say I want to do a page that is My Sold Homes. So I'm going to do template 12. Please make sure if you're doing one of these that you're following all your state laws as far as disclosure and things like that. Choose if you want it to be required to register or not. Another quick note on registration. I don't believe in having to register for information just willy-nilly. I think that we live in a land now where consumers are going to go find the information that they want how they want to find it. And so if you have to register for everything on your page, people are going to get off your page and go to someone else's. I think registering should happen when you're paying for advertising. I think that's an acceptable time to use it. If you're paying for something, you should be getting something in return. But I don't think that it needs to be something that's mandated. I'd much rather have a conversation with someone and say, hey, contact me for more information, or PM me if you need more information, than have it be forced registration. So again, I just want to show you, I'm going to say NIG only with pay-per-click. Do I want meta tags? Yes or no. Do I want it as a menu? Yes or no. Again, you can go back and add these at any time. And then this works very similarly to actually going in and creating your own page. The only difference is if something changes on this page, you have to go in and manually change it. So I could actually go in and add pictures of my sold homes. I could say, hey, I sold this house. You would have actual photos of the homes that you sold. And you could say, sold March 2018. And then you could say, you could put a little bit about the neighborhood. So I could say neighborhood information, how many homes have sold for the week or for the year, average price, if your state allows that, and maybe some interesting facts. Things like close to downtown, maybe it's an up and coming, maybe it's got a lot of opportunity for investment, but please make sure, again, you're following your state and your MLS rules, as well as fair housing and equal housing. So you can go through and you can edit all this and add all that in there. You could also have this be a testimonial page. So you could have pictures of your sellers. I could say, hey, this is maybe my testimonial page, and I upload a picture of my people that are so happy. Let's see, there's some happy people in here. And I write a little bit about, these are past buyers. They were so excited. This is what they said about me. Again, anytime you see that green button, you're going to want to click save. But that is how you create a dynamic page. Again, you can connect it to a menu by going up and editing your menu, and you can add it to your main menu simply by selecting edit, and you can add a custom page, and you can say, hey, I want to add it to my home dropdown. Custom pages, I want to choose homes I've sold. And I want to add it to home. And then I click save. And then underneath the home button, there's a recently sold dropdown. If you want to add meta tags after the fact, you go to the page details and you click add meta tag, and you add that there. So that's a little bit about how to edit your website. That is, in a nutshell, that's about 20 minutes of how to edit that. Does anybody have any questions for me on this? This was all recorded. It is going to be posted as soon as we're finished so that you can go back through and update it. I do just want to mention that you should be updating information as often as you can. So having some of those dynamic pages linked to your homepage, as well as going in and making sure that you're adding some seasonal photos and you're updating your bio and things like that, are really important to make sure that you're doing so that you can stay up to date, so that Google and other search engines realize that you have up-to-date information, and making sure that it's relevant content, making sure that it's content that people want to hear is really important. And the way I judge relevant content is if I would stop and read it, then I'm creating content that is good. If I'm not going to stop my day to read what's going on, then I'm not creating content that's worth participating in. And I need to adjust my content that I'm putting out there. Nikki, do you have any other questions? Okay, so this is what I'm going to encourage you to do, is a training is only as good as what you put into practice. So Hopefully right now you've blocked out till about 10 o'clock. And what I would do is I would go in and I would start editing my page, and I'd spend about 30 minutes editing my page and figuring out what I like and what I don't like. And then I would schedule 30 minutes sometime next week to go in and do the same. As we head into the holidays next week, this tends to be a very quiet time from about Friday through the new year. Yeah, you can. I'll show you how to change that. But we're pretty quiet through the end of the year. And so going in, getting your page up to date, creating some dynamic pages that are really geared for your market towards first-time home buyers, certain neighborhoods, certain price points, luxury price points, view price points, so that you have some pages that you can go through and just automatically post and share, really starts to create a backlog of information that's easy for you to share. And it's way easier to do that now while it's quiet than it is once we start to get busy in the busy season. So that is something that I would be scheduling. I'd be scheduling 30 minutes to an hour at least once a week to go in and get this all laid out so that it's set it and forget it for the rest of the year. So the top menu pages, you're talking about these, the for sale, home, my portal, what's my home worth, right? How do I change those? Perfect. So all you have to do to change those is you go into your menu and you're actually going to change your site menu. And I can go in and I can either edit this or I can delete it. If I hit the garbage can, it's going to delete that menu item. And if I click OK, I can see now there's no for sale option. But I can go back in and I can say, hey, I want to edit my site menu. And I want to go in and I want to add a for sale. So I'm going to say, hey, I want this to be for sale. It's going to say for sale. For sale now. And I want it to be a top menu item. And I click save. I also can go in and say, hey, I want to edit this and I want to change the name of it. So you can change the name of things and say, my business, like what's happening in my business. And you can say update menu, and you could have like your recently sold, my about me, my past clients, what my clients are saying. So you can change all these. I do want to make sure that I put a home button on here so that I don't screw up all my other teammates that do this. Sorry, I've got homepage, home, then add to menu. So then it's all added, and then I click save, and you can see it automatically changes. And the other thing is, if you don't like the way they're ordered, you can change the way they're ordered just by dragging and dropping them. And it changes the order here. So you can absolutely change what they are, what the tags are, what's included in them, what they're called, the order they appear in. Any other questions? So Nikki, I challenge you to jump in and start, I would start going in and try some of this right now. I would jump in, try some things, see if it works, see what you like, see what you don't. Choose your design first. That's the first step. So you're going to choose your design at the top. There's that design button. You have a whole bunch of different layouts that you can choose from again. So this is where you start. You choose your design first, and then you go in and you edit it all. This is a great time of year to update your web page. You're doing it at the right time of year. Awesome. Well, I'm going to let you get going on it. You're very, very welcome. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them on the Facebook page, and we will talk to you soon.